Yasomati Nandana Brajabahanagara Gokula Anjana Kahana Yasam Yasamati Nandana Brajabahanagara Gokula Ranjana Kahana Yasam Gopipanandanam Madham Manohara Gopipanandanam Madham Manohara Kaliyaramana Vidhana Kaliyadamana Vidhana Hey Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasaham Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasaham Vipina Purandhara Navinana Garubhara Vamsi Vadhana Subhasai Hey Vrajajana Phalana Sudakula Nasana Prajadana Phalana Sudakulan Hasana and Handa Gorana Rakuhala Hey Nanda Gorana Rakuhala Hey Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Hey Sundarananda Gopala Hey Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanohara Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanohara Rasa Rasika Kripam Hoya Rasa Rasika Kripam Hoya Hey Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nata Bharati Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nata Bharati Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nata Bharati Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hey Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Whoa! Chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Rama, Govinda Madhava, Navanita, Taskara. Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanohara Sri Radhavala Vindavana Nattabhara. Hey, Hari Bhon, Hari Bhon, Hari Bhon, Hari Bhon. Thai Gor Hare Bhon, Hare Bhon, Hare Bhon, Thai Gor Hare Bhon. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Nitai Gaur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Nitai Gaur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, chant the holy name, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, and Nitai Gaur Hare Bhon, Hare Bhon, Hare Bhon, Nitai Gaur Hare Bhon, Hare Bhon, Hare Bhon. Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Yay! Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. Okay. King Sudyumna becomes a woman. Just recently, one of my disciples just had a gender transfer. She went from her to he. Now I don't know what to call him anymore. At least I know 3 cases in ISKCON. There's one many years ago. He went from a she to a he, and then there was a former Vietnam veteran who went from a he to a she. I guess he got tired of fighting. And now this one, I just recently got the message that your disciple is no longer a man now. Okay. What am I going to call Dasi? I'll call him Dasi. I'll call him Dasi Das. You know, old things don't go away so easy. Anyway, what can you do? It's called Kali Yuga. Nobody's happy. It happens a lot now. There's groups of people who do it now, and they're all going to try the other sex and see what it's like. So here we got a whole chapter. King Sudyumna becomes a woman, all by the mercy of Lord Shiva. Okay, so we'll go on to the verse. Text 18, which is the one I was not told was 17, but I'll do 18 since I'm a good boy. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let's do a real good one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yudyam Brahmo Vido Yuktas Tapasa Dagda Kilbisaha Kutta Sankalpa Vaishamyam Anritam Vibhude Sviva Yuyam Brahma Vido Yuktas Tapasa Dagda Kilbisaha Kutta Sankalpa Vaisamyam Anritam Vibhu De Sviha Yuyam Brahma Vido Yuktas Tapasa Dagda Kilbisaha Kutta Sankalpa Vaisamyam Amritam vibhudes viva viva. Ladies, those in the female body. You're getting good, good. Pretty soon you'll be giving class. Anyone else? Any of the other ladies? My hands. Can you get that? Anyone else? You yum. Of all you. Brahma Vida. Completely in awareness of the absolute truth. Yukta. Self-control and well-balanced. Tapasa, by dint of austerity and penance. Dagda kilbisaha, all kinds of material contamination have been burnt out. Kuta, then how? Sankalpa vaisamyam, discrepancy in the matter of determination. Anvritam, false promise, false statement. Vibhudesu, in the society of demigods. Iva, or. Translation. So there's a sacrifice being performed and they wanted to get a boy, but Mataji wanted a girl, so the priest diverted to Mataji and gave a girl. Here we go. You are all self-controlled, well-balanced in mind, aware of the absolute truth. And because of austerities and penances, you are completely cleansed of all material contamination. Your words, like those of the demigods, are never baffled. But how is it possible that your determination has failed? So here is one priest, Manu. So Manu is performing the sacrifice. Or no, Vishishta. Manu wants, he wants a boy, but I think Manu's wife or somebody, let's see, who is it? One person wanted a girl instead of a boy, so he diverted and fulfilled that desire. Okay. We have learned from many Vedic literatures that a benediction or curse given by the demigods never proves false. By performing austerities and penances, by controlling the senses and mind, by achieving full knowledge of the absolute truth, one is fully cleansed of material contamination. Then one's words and blessings, like those of the demigods, are never a failure. Om Gyantimidandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksun Bilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Staptitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swam Patantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Vanchakopa Durubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nowadays, when you have to fill out a form, the new forms are, and they have gender there, and you have male, female, and other. You've seen it now? Yeah, it's a popular thing now. I'm trying to figure what that other is. That's some creature from the lower planets. So we just learned that God has just invented a third gender. No, actually, I was told that there's 21 different things you can write in the other category, like it or. What are you, a male or female? No, I'm an it. Okay. What is that? The world's become completely crazy. Okay. So here, what is the essence of this particular verse is that austerities are accomplished in order to bring about a certain result. So there are austerities in spiritual life. What are our austerities? No illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling, and chanting every day 16 rounds on beads. So these are the foundation for the execution of the devotional service, and they're considered to be austerities every day. Prabhupada said, if you chant 16 rounds your whole life from the time that you became initiated and follow the four regulative principles every day, you'll go back to Godhead. Simply by following the four regulative principles, never breaking them once, and chanting 16 rounds from the time you got initiated, you'll go back to Godhead. So these austerities are very powerful. Because nobody likes these in this age. Prabhupada talks about one of his godbrothers that went preaching in London. And when he got there, he met one Lord who had some connection with the Vedic literature. He had some position in India for many years. Now he was back in London. So he was fascinated by Prabhupada's godbrother and said, "Can you make me a brahmana? Can you make me a brahmana?" I didn't do it so good. Maybe you can do it better. No, you haven't been acclimatized fully yet, huh? Can you make me a brahmana? And Prabhupada's godbrother said, yes, we can make you a brahmana. What do I have to do? Well, there are 4 things you must follow. No illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating. Impossible. That is our life. So when Prabhupada heard that, when he came to America, he said, when I came here, I was giving something impossible. They will say, Swamiji, what is your program? No illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. Thank you very much for coming, now go home. Prabhupada said, that's what they will say to me when I come. So people don't like these austerities because it seems like this is where the sense gratification lies. But actually, this is the foundation for all sinful activities. If you follow these 4 principles strictly, and there is deviations, and throughout your whole life, as Prabhupada said, you'll go back to Godhead. But these 4 restrictions are called items of knowledge. One who follows them is in knowledge. What are they in knowledge? They're in knowledge in how to practice spiritual life in the way it's meant to be practiced. Because as long as one engages in some kind of sinful activity, they can't make progress in devotional service. If we break the principles, that stops our progress in devotional service. One has to be very careful, very strict to follow these 4 regulative principles. Because as Prabhupada said, all sinful activities reside within these 4 regulative principles. So one who refrains from committing any of these 4, all of them, is free from all sinful reactions. And so they're very powerful. That's their austerity in this age. And you might think, well, that's easy. When you first get initiated, you're all, Jai Gurudev, whoa, yeah. What's my name? Oh, I like it. And then after some time, I'm married. What do I do? Sex only for kids? My God, how many kids can I have? I think I'll have 100 so I can... Poor wife, you know. Yeah, so that's considered the one that householders can't follow. Those of you who are married, you might have some experience. Those of you who are not married, get ready. But yeah, so it's a very, it's like being in the candy shop and can't eat the candy, right? That's what they call it anyway. So yeah, this is, what can you do? But Prabhupada has given the formula that for married life, 4 days after the dark moon, after the end of the menstrual period of a wife, one can engage in sex in order to have pregnancy. When the pregnancy is there, then once the woman is pregnant, there's no more sex for the next 16 months. Yeah, Prabhupada talks about 16 months, which means during the time of the pregnancy and after the pregnancy for 6 more months after that. And then you can go for another kid after that, if you want. But, you know, it's a very, I even know devotees who can't follow that and don't want to follow that. Say it's too hard to follow. But Prabhupada didn't compromise. He said, if you want to become Krishna consciousness, this is what it takes. But how do you refrain from the attractions of material enjoyment is by Visayan vinivartante niharasya dehinam raso varjam raso pyasyat param drisva nivartante. So this verse is from the Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter, where Krishna is explaining that by tasting something higher, you can give up something lower. If you have a higher taste, then it's easy to give up the lower taste. Because everyone wants taste. So we have to go for the higher taste. And that's Krishna consciousness. The sweetness of chanting, the happiness that comes by engaging in devotional service, these are all principles of the higher taste. But if we don't have the higher taste, we still want to taste. And we might think, well, I'm not getting the higher taste in Krishna consciousness, then what do I do? Do I just go on in a tasteless manner? No, it says that you should just realize that the lower taste, which is the happiness of sense gratification, epitomized by sex life, will gradually lead to more and more suffering. So material happiness is not really a taste. It's a false taste that leads one to ultimately feeling more and more the pains of material existence and distance from Krishna at the same time. But everyone wants taste, everyone wants happiness, and we want happiness all the time. And therefore, just like if you're hungry and you haven't eaten for a long time, and someone comes and says, here is an old chapati. It's about a week old, it's a little stiff, it's got no butter, and there's a few burnt spots on it. But that's okay because you're hungry and you haven't eaten anything and there's nothing else around. So you'll eat it because you're hungry. But if someone comes and says, my dear madam, my dear sir, here is some nice, pizza made by Lalit Govinda. And so it's got all kinds of first-class cheese on it. Not vegan, but real cheese. And it's got all, it's got, and then you're about to eat that chapati, and then Lalit Govinda comes smiling with his pizza, and then he brings ice cream too, also. And then he hands it to you, and you say, I think I lost my taste for the chapati. So you'll go for that. So when you get something better, you give up something lower. That's Krishna consciousness. We have to go for the higher taste. We have to beg for the higher taste. We have to be enthusiastic to get the higher taste, because the higher taste is Krishna consciousness. Jai Shri Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai. So hearing the glories of the Lord is the higher taste. But unless we perform some required austerity, giving up the lower taste, as it's mentioned, we will never get the higher taste. These two tastes can, just like you try to enjoy the best of both worlds. A little bit of sense gratification, a little bit of Hare Krishna. Try a little bit of each, according to time, place, and how I feel. But one gets kind of bored after a while with the lower taste, and then one wants the higher taste again. So the higher taste is Krishna consciousness. But one has to understand that in order to get the higher taste, one has to refrain from certain activities. And we mentioned the four regulative principles. But there are other austerities, just like yesterday was Ekadasi. So there's 5 ways you can follow Ekadasi, according to different severities of the vrata. So the highest, and they consider the most complete way, is Nirjal. Actually, every Ekadasi is Nirjal. Because Ekadasi means nothing, no water, nothing, no food. That is Ekadasi, actually. But when Prabhupada brought it to the West, he knew he couldn't follow that level. So then there's the second level down, that's just water, only water. third level down is only no grains and no beans and no cooked food. In other words, raw food. The fourth level down is just fruit and milk. And the fifth level down is just no. Fruit and milk is higher, and then no cooked food. And then the next one down is grains and beans. That's the one Prabhupada gave us. He gave us the easiest one, no grains, no beans. So a little better than that, no cooked food. The next one up, no, just fruit and milk. The next one up is just water. And the next one up is complete abstaining. So Ekadasi is a time for benefit. And what does Ekadasi mean? Extra rounds, chanting more and more. So on Ekadasi we should always think, let me reduce my eating and I can chant more and more. And when you reduce your eating, you reduce your sleeping also. It becomes automatic. Because when you control your eating, your sleeping becomes controlled. If you don't control eating, you can't control sleeping. Yeah. They're intimately and very directly connected like that. So these are some of the austerities that we should follow if we want to make progress in devotional service. And there are many other austerities also, like fasting on holy days, and other recommended austerities also. So these are the different austerities. So one becomes austere, they become very much fixed in devotional service, and they become very powerful in their execution of devotional service. Of course, one should not falsely adopt austerities just for the sake of austerities. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna recommends different kinds of austerities. Austerities of speech, to speak truthfully, beneficially, avoiding speech that offends others, and quoting the Shastras regularly. Austerities of the mind is gravity, simplicity, what else? Gravity, simplicity, can't remember all the austerities of the mind. Satisfaction, yeah, that's right. Satisfaction. Austerities of the body. Worshipping seniors such as father and mother and guru. Celibacy. These are all different austerities that we're meant to perform so we can execute devotional service easy. Okay, so I'll stop there and see if there's any questions, austerities, or in general. Any comments, questions? Yes?
I can hold.
You hold it for him.
Hare Krishna. How do we know what level of austerity we should personally take? Because there are more levels, I think.
Well, you can also ask someone who knows you, for instance, your spiritual master, or someone on an equal level of your spiritual master. That's one way. If that's not available, then you can understand that that if you're becoming angry or hard-hearted, then the austerities are false. Because there are persons who perform great austerities, but they can't give up anger. They become angry quite easy, although they're very austere like that.
Yes, this used to happen when I was too austere. I would just get very frustrated.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah. Yeah. You have to do it according to the level which you can still execute devotional service properly, nicely. And after some time you may increase, Like on Ekadasi, it's recommended to chant more rounds. So Prabhupada said 25 rounds on Ekadasi. He recommended that. But there's devotees who chant more. There's devotees who chant 64 rounds on Ekadasi. There's devotees who chant 192 rounds on Ekadasi. But there's only a few of those. So Ekadasi, and then of course performing different levels of fasting on Ekadasi. These are all different. And following, if you follow the basic austerities as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, that's enough. Like that. To chant 16 rounds and to follow the 4 regulative principles, if you can do that regularly, that's a great austerity.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you'll make progress that way. That's the idea of austerity is to help you make advancement and not to push you down, Yeah. We have another question over here. Yeah.
Haribol, thank you for the lecture. I wanted to ask, you said more rounds on Ekadashi. Is it also helps if you do more other services than chanting?
Other services than chanting?
Yeah.
Well, Ekadasi is especially meant for chanting.
Okay. Thank you.
That's the recommended austerity on that day. Because those who follow Ekadasi, they just fast all day and chant. They chant from sunset to sunrise, from morning, from one sunrise, all the way through the night. They don't sleep, and then the next 24 hours chanting. So we can't do that, but we can do more. Yeah. Yes, a question over here.
Yes, what about talking this song?
What about?
Talking this song.
A translation, you mean, of the song?
No, why we are singing today this song?
Yasomati
Usually
Nandana,
not.
the one I sang at the beginning, Yasomati Nandana.
Yes.
And what is the question then?
The question is just if you can speak something about this song, what's all about.
Well, Prabhupada said the different names of Krishna in Vrindavan. He's called Yasomati Nandana. He's called Manohara, one who attracts the mind. Yasomati Nandana, one who gives pleasure to Yaso, his mother, Yasoda. Gokula Ranjana, he gives pleasure to the land of Gokul. Kana is a name of Krishna. It's a nickname for Krishna, means young boy. Gopi Paranandara, he gives pleasures to the gopis. What is that? Natabara, he's the best of all dancers. Vrindavan Nartabar. Nata means dancer. Bara means the best. He is Govinda Madhava, Navanita Taskara. He steals the butter. Sundara Nanda Gopal, he's the beautiful cowherd boy of Vrindavan. Beautiful cowherd boy, son of Nanda. Yeah. So all of these are different names of Krishna. Yeah. That's all. That whole song is just names of Krishna. Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Prasanno Vahara. Yeah, he exports on the banks of the Jamuna, like that. It's about his pastimes, it's about his relationships with his devotees. It's all Vrindavan.
Thank you very much.
In one sense, it's Mahamantra. Because it's the pure names of Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for nice lecture again. So, as I understand, you said that in order to get qualified to go back to the Godhead, you need to follow these four regulative principles without fail and highest standards as well.
Well, Prabhupada didn't say it in that way. He said, if you chant 16 rounds every day and follow the four regulative principles, you will go back to Godhead. That's the way he said it. What he was saying, that alone will get you back to Godhead. It doesn't mean if you don't do that, you can't go back to Godhead. It means you have to do something else to purify yourself. Because if you get purified somehow, then you can go back to Godhead. If you reach pure love of God, you can still go back to Godhead. Prabhupada said, you distribute your books, my books, your whole life, you'll go back to Godhead. That's for sure. That's a quick ticket. Prabhupada's merciful. He gave a lot of concessions. Anything else? Yeah.
There is questions on internet by Avaduta Rayadasa. In Gita 2:45, Nistraigunyo means be above the three gunas, and Nitya Sattva Sto, Bhaktivinoda translates as to be situated in Sattva. Question, how are these two statements not contradictory?
Triguna Visaya Veda Nistriguna Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattva Sto Niryoga Shema Advarvam. The Vedas deal with the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, Arjuna. Be transcendental to them. Be free from all anxieties and dualities and thus be situated in the self. That is the translation. So, Nistriguna means above the three modes of material nodes. Yeah. And be situated free from all anxieties and all dualities for gain and safety, and thus be situated in the self. So, being situated in the self means to be fully engaged in devotional service, yeah, which is Nistriguna, above the three modes of material nature. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not saying be situated in a mode of goodness. Well, and actually, that's not Bhaktivinoda Thakur's etymological interpretation. That's from Prabhupada's giving that. So what does Prabhupada say? I'd have to see the Bhagavad Gita. We have one? There's one here somewhere. So, but there is Sudha Sattva. So goodness could also mean pure goodness. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Establishing the self. Nitya Sattva Sto, in a pure state of spiritual existence. So that complements the first statement pertaining above the three modes of material nature. So there's no contradiction there. Transcendental to the three modes of material nature. So Nitya Sattva Sto, in pure state of spiritual existence. So where is he getting this idea of Bhaktivinoda Thakur? So unless he has another book and then he's reading from that, I don't know, another. But here it completely says being situated in the spiritual existence, Sattva Sto. So there's no contradiction in any of the terminologies there. Nistriguna, sattva sto, same thing. One means above, the other one means situated in. That's all. Same thing. Okay? It's the best I can do. Unless he has something that was commented by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in a separate text, unless he's referring to that. But I don't have access to that, but I just take what Prabhupada said here. Prabhupada is the culmination of all the acharyas. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, there's one more by Avaduta Raya Dasa. Bhaktisiddhanta recommends the hearted brahmacharis to embrace a cow to soften their hearts. What do you think about this?
What's that?
Bhaktisiddhanta recommends the hard-hearted brahmacharis to embrace a cow to soften their hearts.
Yeah. Good idea. So that means you have to get a farm first. So the first thing you do is establish a farm, and then go ahead and then start hugging cows. Okay. Good idea. Hard-hearted brahmacharis. Do we have any hard-hearted brahmacharis here? Raise your hand. Any hard-hearted ladies here? No. No. So we're okay here, Abadut. So don't worry about it. Nobody's hard-hearted here, and there's not too many cows around here. So. Okay, so you can. Anybody wants to, they feel hard-hearted, they can go to the farm and start making the cows feel good. But there is a program, and people are doing it, that if you feel depressed, anxiety, difficulties in life, go find a cow and stay with the cow. Yeah. They have it, it's called cow therapy now. People are doing it. And they pay for it also. It works. Would you like to see something? But can we put it up on here from my phone? Can you connect my phone to here? Okay, this is for those of you who like to cry. This is nice. It's really sweet. Okay. So the class is officially ended. This is extra. You want to give it a try? It's on YouTube either. It's also on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here it is. So come on over here so you can see. So it's that. That's YouTube, isn't it? FB Watch? Facebook, yeah. If I push it, it's going to start.
Yes, I see the title.
Yeah, Brave Bulls and the Brothers Escaped the Slaughterhouse. Called The Dodo. Okay. Can you get it? Okay, we'll see. Watch this. If you miss this, you'll miss something really wonderful. Don't miss this. It's 4 minutes long, so it's not so long. Let's see if you can get it up. I watched this about 6 times so far. I can watch it again. All of you garland makers, don't miss this one. This is worth 50 garlands. It's on Facebook, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You saw it, right? Yeah. I thought so. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay. It's called the dodo. And the title is The Dodo, Brave Bull and the Brothers Escaped the Slaughterhouse. Mm-hmm. You'll like this. This is really good. I'll give you a little preview of what's going to happen. 6 cows escaped the slaughterhouse, and now they're trying to round them up and bring them back in. So this is the storyline. Okay. The dodo, the one before the dodo bird, yeah. Not that one. It might be this one here. This last, no. Let's see. No, that's not it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare. Look for the word brave. Here it is. There it is. Go down. There it is on the right. Go down again. Go down. There it is. The one on the far right. Yeah, this one here. Oh, that's not the whole thing. It's the one is.
Medijo je nepremagljiv povsod. Res vse povsod.
This is a different one.
Got him. They're safe. Yeah. Everything's okay. Look how scared you're being. These guys need to be okay with humans, with being touched, with the idea that nobody's gonna hurt them anymore. That's right. There you go. They did it. Freedom.
That wasn't the whole thing, but anyway. But that's the essence of it anyway.
So what is the full title? You can search.
The full title is
Brave Bull and his brothers escaped the slaughterhouse. The dodo, Brave Bull and his brothers.
yeah.
The dodo.
Mm-hmm. This one's only 1 minute. This one's 4 minutes. Go down the page, see if you can find it. Maybe it's there. No. Looks like we ain't gonna get it, so. That's not the one. That one's only one minute. This one's 4 minutes. Well, looks like we failed. Anyway, all glories to the cows. Hare Krishna.